It's another Skills Friday where we learn how to get our skill ready for the game so we ain't out there looking lame. Go gang. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like and comment to our content. We are here to help you turn from cheese to the macaroni and cheese, man. Yeah, it's another Skills Friday for you guys today. And today, changing up a tune a little bit, man. I understand a lot of guys on this channel are high school players. Some are middle school players. We got a lot of high school players on this channel. And I want to tell you guys something, man. Getting recruited is a reality for you guys. Like, this is a real thing. College is closer than you may expect. So this is a different type of video, not necessarily a skill, but what you could do to get recruited from colleges. So let's get into it. So first, we have to understand the importance of being recruited. Being recruited can help in so many different ways, where it's like if you want to continue your football career, you want to play on a collegiate level, it's a lot easier when you're recruited because it's a lot easier to play while you're recruited. Not impossible if you walk onto a team, but when you're recruited and the coaches want you and the coaches know you, it's a lot easier to get on the field. The coaches are looking for you to get on the field. And also, sometimes people are like, oh, well, I don't have the money for college. While getting recruited, they may pay for your college education. So that always helps as well. So next, let's get into it. What do we need to do to really become recruited by these colleges and to give ourselves the best chance to be recruited? So first and foremost, let's get into it. We have to take care of everything we need to off the field. It's student athlete. Student first, athlete second. Like, if you don't take care of your grades off the field, you can't play. You're not going to be eligible. Schools ain't going to be worried about you. I know personally of a guy from my hometown, great player. He was actually a great receiver around here. He was younger than me. And he had all types of like state records, all types of great things, but his grades was terrible. It was shot. And because his grades was shot, his SAT score wasn't high, he literally had to go to a lower division school. And it wasn't bad that he was at a lower division school, but he was a little upset and he was discouraged because it was like, I should be playing at a higher competition. But that was the only school that would take him because of his education and his eligibility status. So he balled out there and ended up transferring up, but he had to get his grades up. And that's one thing you have to understand. Get your grades up and have high character, because these coaches will be asking about you as a player. Like, they're going to ask your coach. They're going to ask people that know you about you and your character. And if you're a low character person, if you're doing things that just ain't that you're not supposed to be doing, man, these dudes is going to be like, oh, well, why do we need him on our football team? He's a knucklehead. So make sure you got those things intact, man. That's really important. That's stuff that people never talk about, but get that together. Next, we got to take care of everything we can on the field. So you got to understand your ability and build on it. Like, I'm not trying to shoot nobody's dreams down, but if you have no varsity experience and you're a senior, or it's the end of your senior year, you have no varsity experience, it's going to, like, no offense, Nick Saban's not just going to just knock at your door. You have to understand what you've proven and the varsity experience that you've had. So, like, I understand this. This is a real issue. Like, a lot of times people feel like, oh, well, if I don't play varsity my senior year, I'm not going to play college football. Not necessarily. You still can, but it's just going to be a little tougher. You just can't look D1. You have to look at another option, which is my second point. We have to understand where our next step should be. So D1 isn't the only place that offers scholarships. D1 isn't the only place to play college football. A lot of times we get confused and we see Alabama and Georgia on TV and we see these teams and we're like, oh, wow, like, I want to play for those guys. And it's like, yeah, everybody wants to play for those guys. And we have to understand that there's more teams out here. So you got to understand JUCOs. You got to understand D2 football, D3 football, NAIA. These are all different divisions of football that you could literally get in and ball out. Especially JUCOs. Especially if you, like me personally, if you don't have a lot of varsity experience and you don't have and you are somewhat a late bloomer, I was necessarily a late bloomer, you should look into JUCOs. JUCOs is actually a great environment to really help you get your skill up, get your grades up, even if you have struggling grades, and really help you blossom into that next level player, because it gives you a great environment where there's not like pressure to play now. It's just like, okay, like we want you to develop, so you really get your game up going to JUCOs. And also, next point, we gotta create a highlight tape and put it on Huddle and share this information with potential coaches and recruiting coordinators. So I understand what you're thinking. Oh, recruiting coordinator, that sounds so complicated. What if they don't answer? Recruiting coordinators are probably going to answer you more than a college coach is. A recruiting coordinator is like they're the secretary, or they're part of the staff. They're going to answer you more likely than college coach. The college coach is busy. They're making all these visits. They're meeting up with so many recruits. Like, you could get lost in the wash. So make sure you're hitting up recruiting coordinators as well, instead of just college coaches. And have your tape on your social media. Like, it's a different day and age. When I came out, social media wasn't a huge thing. So like, social media is a big thing. So if you have a Twitter, or if you have some type of social media, and you have your tape out there, like, they're going to search you. They're going to look your name up. They're going to be like, oh, wow, James is a good player. Let's look him up. So they're going to look you up. They're going to check you out, and make sure you have your tape up there, and make sure you're not putting anything crazy up there on the social media either. So understand when the coaches can respond to you too. That's a very important thing, especially with D1. D1 coaches can literally only talk to you at a certain time. D3 and NAIA schools can talk to you whenever. So like, a D3 school could reach out to you in the 10th grade. D3 school could reach out to you this year. D3 school could probably is reaching out to you right now, or NAIA school. So it's like, you have to understand when they can reach out to you, and when you could talk back to them. You could talk to them whenever. Me personally, I was getting D3 looks, and I was playing JV. I wasn't even on varsity yet. So that's stuff that you can like really look into, and stuff that you really pay attention to. And last but not least, we gotta go to camps. So you gotta get your name out there. That's very important. So if your high school has a 7-on-7 camp, go there. If there's an individual 7-on-7 camps that you need to go there. Linebacker, D-back, any type, go there. So like, I know D tackles and offensive linemen have big men camps, and you should check those out as well. But you have to get your name out there. Like, that's very important, especially if you're trying to go to like the top level schools. Them D1 schools, you got to get your name out there. Like, it's pure marketing at that level. D2 as well. So, and also the next thing, college camps. Now, this is the aspect that people don't understand as well too with college camps. When you're going to a college camp, do not go up there expecting to like just change your trajectory overnight. I've seen it happen, but it's not necessarily uber likely. You want to go there, stretch your stuff, play hard, and show everything that you have. That's very important, because it gets your name on the radar. It's not just going to get you a scholarship. Like, you have to prove these things over and over and over again. Like, especially with D1. Like, I was watching an interview with Devontae Smith from the Eagles. He had played for Bama. He said Bama reached out. He said first time he had seen Nick Saban, or like had any type of, not really contact with him, because Nick Saban didn't talk to him, but like any type of contact with Alabama he was in the 7-on-7 camp, and he was in the 8th grade. So this stuff is very, very important. You want to make sure that you're out there. And honestly, I know a lot of y'all on this channel, like y'all are hidden gems, man. Y'all are like diamonds in the rough. Like, y'all are literally just how I was, man. So like, this is really like close to my heart. And I understand, like, you want to play on the top level. You want to show people that you can ball out. And you just got to understand where you're at. Like, if you really feel like you that D1 talent, and you right there, I advise go to a JUCO. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made. I know a lot of y'all don't know my story, but I'm gonna keep it short. I literally went to a D1 school first. I played D1, and then I literally transferred. I transferred to a D2 school. But that was my issue. Like, I literally seen D1. I was like, I'm gonna play D1. I went D1, and then I didn't play D1, so I ended up transferring. And just because you see D1 isn't the end all be all. So you want to make sure that you're going to the right school. Peace.
Check this video out on the screen if you want to be mean on that green, or real on that field, or extort on that court. The No Baller Left Behind Act supports this video. You feel me?